How's it going, guys? Johnny Rocket here with a video for backstroke, the backstroke swimming technique. What is it? How do you do it? Backstroke was invented in the 1930s as a spin-off of freestyle, trying to do the same arm movements but on your back. It's a pretty efficient stroking style because it's like walking. It's a long axis stroke, which means your body rotates on an axis that goes from your head to the bottom of your feet. Your body rotates side to side, like the earth on its axis. But with that being the case, it's a very easy stroke to do. It's one arm at a time, one leg at a time, like you're walking, because that's natural for humans. Butterfly and breaststroke are a lot harder to do. They're less efficient because it's like hopping as transportation versus walking. Walking is much easier to do for us as humans. So backstroke is an easy stroke for us to do. The other reason I think it's easy is because you get to breathe the entire time. Your face is out of the water, you're breathing, it's easy. However, some people still don't like the stroke, and that's okay. It's different strokes for different folks is saying for a reason. If you're not someone who likes backstroke, that's okay. It might make you uncomfortable, might make you nauseous, you might sink, maybe your body just doesn't do well with that kind of technique. Sometimes people find it easier to just keep their arms by their side and under the water, paddling and kicking on their back. That's fine too. I actually teach that step to beginners before they learn the stroke of backstroke. But like every other stroke in swimming, the backstroke has three components to it: the head position, the pull, or the arms, and the kick, the legs. We'll start with the head position. When you're on your back, everything's the opposite as when you're on your belly. So when you're swimming freestyle, your chin should be down. But when you're on your back, your chin should be up, and it should be a little bit higher than your forehead. A little bit of water might trickle over your forehead. That's a good thing. If it starts to trickle over your eyes, over your goggles, you should lift your face up just a little bit in the water, like half an inch. Not much. Don't lift your head out of the water. Just lift your face out of the water. Your head should remain completely still as your body works around it. So even as your arms are rotating, don't let your head start following your arms side to side. Keep your body straight by keeping your head still. And don't forget to breathe. You're on your back. I know it sounds simple and silly, but a lot of people do forget to breathe because when they're in water, they're just always afraid of water going in their mouth or up their nose, so they just start holding it. And that's not necessarily a good thing. You want to breathe. So remember to breathe on your back. The second component to backstroke are the arms. Now the arms have 4 steps to them. 4 steps to successful backstroke arms. Step 1, big tall arms. You want your hand to come straight up into the air above your body. It might rotate your body onto the other side a little bit. That's okay. Get it up as high as you can. Don't try to swim this flat. Let your body rotate just a little bit to bring that hand up higher. Now, a lot of people out there are paranoid about other coaches not mentioning the whole thumb out, pinky in first. I've even had a couple of comments on my own videos. You never mentioned the thumb out, pinky in. Well, that was very popular a long time ago. Now we've kind of found if you just throw your hand backwards, it's gonna land in the water pinky in, and that's the more important part anyways. It doesn't matter if your pinky comes out of the water first. Thumb out, pinky out first doesn't matter anymore. We realize it doesn't matter. So just bring your hand up and throw it back. Your pinky will land in the water first, and that's the more important part anyways, the pinky landing in the water first. If you try to throw your hand back and your thumb lands in the water first, now you're in a very awkward position. It's not going to be easy to switch your palm and twist quickly for an effective pull. So if you want to bring your thumb out first, that's fine. If you think that makes you come out higher, that's great. I just tell people big, tall arms. Step number 2 to the successful backstroke arms is reach. Now, I like to get an emphasis on the word reach because it's not just reaching back for water, it's reaching back for as much water as you can get behind your head. Some people might over-rotate on this step, most people don't. If you over-rotate, hopefully there's someone around to tell you as such, or you can take a video of yourself, send it over to me and I'll let you know. I like to analyze my subscribers' techniques when they send me their videos. So throw that hand back, let the pinky enter the water first, and reach back for as much water as you can get. Step number 3, the pull. I call it strong invisible hands because when your hand enters the water, sometimes it looks a little invisible to people who are watching you from above the surface. It's definitely invisible to anybody watching you from above the surface. And if they're in the water, they're barely above the surface. So as strong invisible hands, when your hand enters the water, it shouldn't drop, your elbow shouldn't drop and like hand just kind of dance back down to your side. You should enter the water and pull. Get that hand out to the side. A little bit of an elbow bend is good, okay? But it should be with your elbow up and stable, not dropped and leading the way, okay? So Strong invisible hand. Like an iceberg, the majority of the work is done under the surface of the water. And that's true for all the strokes. What we see above the water is supposed to be the recovery part of those strokes. Everything that's moving us forward in the water is happening under the surface. The pulls, the kicks, it's all being done underneath the water. So when your hand enters the water, you need to have strong invisible hands. Move that water down to your feet. Propel yourself backwards. The fourth and final step to successful backstroke arms are windmill arms. So too many people swim from their pockets just like they do for freestyle, and they let their hands come too close to their side and meet for too long down here. You want your arms to always be opposite one another like a windmill. When you pull, they're switching. So now this hand is behind my head, this hand is down by my side. Switch, 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 and keep switching. So the chin is high on the head position. The arms have 4 steps. Big, tall arms, reach back, strong, invisible hands, windmill arms. The third and final component to the stroke is the kick. Now the kick, like freestyle, is called a flutter kick. However, there's a small difference. The backstroke kick is half as big and twice as fast as the freestyle kick. The freestyle kick also requires a little bit of splashing. Your feet will come above the water a little bit to help speed up the kick. But on your back, you want your feet to remain 98% under the water. You're boiling the water underneath the surface, so it'll look like they're splashing, but they're not really. They're just kicking water up, and maybe the toe breaks the surface, but not the entire foot. Don't bring your foot out of the water and slam it down. You're not kicking water down on your back, you're kicking water up on your back, okay? Flip it up off the tops of your feet, boom, 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 boom. You're flipping it up to boil it, up there. Okay, the most common mistake is swimmers will bend their knees to bring their feet out of the water, or to bring their legs out of the water, and then like push the water down. You don't want to be pushing the water down, not on your back. You want to be pushing the water up. You want to be kicking the water up. So don't bring your knee out and slam your leg down. Rather, use your leg like it's a whip, and just create energy from up here, maybe somewhere in your abdomen, your core, your hip flexor, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, and fling that foot up to the surface. Fling those toes up to the surface and watch the water boil. It's very satisfying. Make sure that you have a tight, fast kick. Don't let your legs get too big and sloppy, because then it'll make the whole stroke a little bit too sloppy and imbalanced. If you can keep a tight, fast kick, everything else will tighten up. Your body line will tighten up. You'll have better balance in the water. You'll have more control. You'll feel a lot smoother as well. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you found this video helpful, splash that like button, subscribe to the channel for free, and consider becoming a member today. Check out the merch over on our digital store, and follow us over on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook for shorter clips and tips throughout the week. If you want to get in contact with me directly, you can text or email me right here. If you want your own private swim lessons in person or online, head over to our website and sign up today. Now let's get ready to rock it.